O'Mar, what's the emotions like for you getting ready for senior night tomorrow?
Man, it's just a blessing to be here and to be in this position. You know what I mean? To be able to finish college. You know what I mean? Because it's not a lot of people get this opportunity to be able to go through college and be at two great programs like I've been. So it's been exciting. You know what I mean? But obviously the main focus has been the season and getting this win. But obviously it's just something that there's not really a lot of words. But it's been a blessing.
Are you an emotional guy, and how do you kind of try to rein that in tomorrow for a must-win game?
Yeah, I feel like I am. I feel like sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve, but these are one of the things that you kind of have to put in your back pocket. You know what I mean? And you kind of have to focus on the game, focus on the win, and I don't think we'll have a problem doing that.
Before 2 years ago, was Boise State ever a spot that you even imagined you'd ever end up at? Or?
Never. I was at Linkier, and Adam Donye, he's an alum here. He always told me about Boise, Idaho, and how he loves it so much. He would be like, "Oh, you love it out there. You love it." I'd be like, "Oh, will I? Like, I really don't know." But being out here has been a blessing. He always, every time he calls me, he's like, "I told you so." You know what I mean? And so yeah, I'll give the credit to him.
What did you hear about Idaho and Boise before coming in? As a surprise check?
A little bit. You really don't have a lot of thoughts. Only thing you hear about is potatoes, right? But when you get here, you're like, okay, this is actually a really good culture. It's a really good group of people out here. It's real slow down and chill compared to a lot of places, and really unknown to the masses.
I haven't asked you too much about your family, over the years, but obviously with your parents and stuff, and just your upbringing, how did they come into your life, and when did they kind of adopt you? And I don't know how much you're willing to get into kind of your backstory.
Yeah, and so it wasn't really adoption. There wasn't any papers. They kind of just took me in around my sophomore year. My dad got incarcerated, and so we still have this relationship now. Me and my dad, I talk to him every day, the same way I talk to, my parents. So those are the three people that have been raising me, my whole life. And, just 5 years ago, they came into my life, but it's been my dad for most of my life, and so that journey's been, it's been crazy. You know what I mean? Like you go through things, and you see some things that a lot of adults haven't even seen. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, it's been a blessing to be here and be able to get through college. Like I said, like where I come from, there's not a lot of people that are able to get this opportunity. You know what I mean? And so I'm just really grateful, and I dedicate my play to them.
So how did you kind of get to know and get in contact with your new parents and
yeah. In high school, when the whole situation happened, my high school coach, I told him about the situation, which his name Ryan Hens. I love him dearly. I talk to him every day too. I credit him for where I'm at right now as well. But I wasn't getting into anything bad as a kid. You know what I mean? And so people hear that and they're like, okay, Omar's a good kid. He doesn't do anything. And so when they heard about that, so I was basically homeless, and so they were like, okay, O'Mar, we need to find a home for O'Mar. And so we went and did that, and the counselor there and my coach, they were like, asking around, and the Lillises, which that's their name, Lillises, they had a whole bunch of athletes in their family. All their kids were athletes, and the last athlete was just about to leave to go to college, and they weren't ready to be empty nesters yet. So they're like, yeah, we'll take him in. And so that's kind of how it went, and ever since then it's been, yeah.
What have they meant to you? And I know I've seen them at some of the road games and stuff, and just what's it meant to have them in your life?
Man, it means the world to me. You know what I mean? To have people that actually believe in you. Have kind of see what what a stereotypical family looks like. You know what I mean? Like they took me out of the hood and moved me to the burbs, and introduced me to this new life, and kind of roped me into it, and taught me how to be a man, taught me how to love, taught me how to just conversate and do all these things that I didn't really know before growing up. You know what I mean? They obviously from my high school age, the high school age is a real big part of who you are and who you become as a man. And so for them to step into that role and be able to be my mom, my dad, and everything above is, man, it's been a blessing. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Mom and dad, your parents and your dad, all three of them will be there tomorrow night?
My dad would not be able to be there. He had some heart complications, so he can't really fly right now. But he's in my spirits, and I'll call him before and after the game. And like I said, I talked to him before. But my mom and dad, they'll be there, and my siblings will be there, which I call my siblings. I call them. That's my family. You know what I mean? So I call them all these things, but even though it might not look like it, but it feels like it. Anyways. So all my siblings will be there. My 2 nephews will be there. Their wives will be there. It'll be a lot of people. It'll be a lot of Overland Park folks out here.
Where's your dad live?
Kansas City, where I'm from.
Tyson Degenhart, sum up what you've seen and what he's meant for Boise State basketball in your words.
Man, it's not enough words. You know what I mean? He has been instrumental to rebuilding this program up, right? And you know the kind of player he is. For him to represent not only Boise but the whole state of Idaho like this has been amazing. For me to be able to be a part of it and watch it has been like such a crazy thing to see. He is a true professional. He is a true man. You know what I mean? He does things that some adults don't even do. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow. But yeah, he's my player of the year. You know, he's one of my brothers, and I really appreciate him.
What's your kind of goal for when this season's over? I mean, obviously continuing your basketball career. I mean, but what's your major and stuff? What's kind of your future?
Yeah, my major, psychology major. You know, but my future, I'm not really worried about that right now. I got to be where my feet are. And right now, I'm with the Boise State Broncos, and that's my goal. You know what I mean? Is to finish it on top, right? Like finish the best we can. You know, we want to go all the way to the national championship. You know what I mean? We want to do that. We want to end it out on a high note.
Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time here? Like, I mean, it's always seemed like a storybook season for Tyson and for you seniors to be a part of that first win and do something special. I mean, does it seem like it's all kind of coming together at the right time here?
Definitely. I think so, and I think you guys have seen it too. I think so.
You know, earlier in the season, you were kind of going through some stuff, and it seems like you've been playing really well lately. I mean, consistently really well. What's been the biggest difference there, mentally, physically, everything clicking for you?
Yeah, and I would say earlier season, there wasn't really like any mental stuff. You know what I mean? It was more of just by being a basketball player and go through slumps. You know what I mean? And just kind of having that struggle. You know what I mean? It wasn't really anything mental, but it's just me getting my game right. I would say recently, just like I said, being where my feet are kind of helps me a lot. You know, being able to play for my teammates, being able to play for not just myself, but for Boise State, and I think that helps me a lot. And also having the joy in it. You know what I mean? Not taking it so seriously. You know what I mean? I think that's where we get it wrong. As far as there's a lot of pressure on college sports. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just a sport. We got to go out there and just have fun.
Did you have to have a lot of those conversations during the season with yourself
Definitely.
and other people?
Yeah, with myself, with my parents, with my friends. You know what I mean? Like just understanding, because one of my friends, he plays NAIA in Springfield, Missouri, and talking to him, he kind of had a similar season as me, and so it's kind of just picking each other's brains, being like, man, let's just go out there and have fun, bro. You know what I mean? Like we remember when we started playing basketball, how it was, and this is just the same thing, just a different level, right? So yeah.
What would it mean to you to get back in the starting lineup?
I don't think it changes anything, right? Like Emmanuel's been doing a phenomenal job at starting at the 5. The one thing I want to do is go out there and make him proud, right? Like I got you, bro. I got your back. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna come right back in. You're gonna dominate, and we're all gonna support you regardless. And I hope the same for them with me.
What about your health? I mean, you're going 15, 18 minutes a night. You got a lot of gas in that tank for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think I do, and I know I do. I've been able to play a little harder, and at times like this, it gets hard. Like, okay, what's your conditioning like? How are you going to go out there and play? How consistent is it going to be? You know what I mean? So I got to go out there and play hard because you don't know how many minutes you're going to play. So for me to be able to go out there and play hard, it makes it kind of easier for me. I think I said earlier, like it's kind of easier to come off the bench than starting because you don't know how many minutes you're going to get. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you've been kind of snake bit with some of the fouls? I mean, it seems like some of the fouls are just anytime there's a cheap foul, it's going against you. I mean, does it seem like it's just maybe you can't catch a break sometimes out there on some of the 50-50 calls and stuff?
I think when you're a player like me and you play hard, and you play aggressive, you're going to get some of those fouls. You know what I mean? But coach has done a great job of being like, okay, bro, you gotta use technique. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you can. Some of those fouls maybe shouldn't have been called, whatever. But at the end of the day, if I have technique, then the foul's not going to get called. And so being able to match that technique with aggressiveness and picking and choosing when to use those things, that is what has the fouls being called. Yeah.
From what you've seen, why is this team 1 9 out of 10?
A lot of different things. Leadership, from a leadership standpoint, from our practices, from trusting one another, from understanding the type of team we are, and having to go from the caterpillar to the butterfly, having to going to metamorphosis and having to understand that, okay, our potential is not this. We're better than this, and we know what we have to do. And so let's go out there and play hard and not worry about the outside chatter and go out there and just play for each other.
Anything else? Thanks, O'Mar.
Yep, thank you guys.
See you tomorrow.
See ya.
I'll be back with Al.
So Shanaka Beard he's on Eastern Washington staff?
No, he's a media guy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was, okay.
He's a television
Because I'm doing a story on like all the local connections for the Big Sky tournament, and I went through every roster, and there's, obviously the 3 assistants for,
Yeah.
and I didn't catch Tanaka. I was like, did I miss something?
No, yeah, he's
Okay.
a high school coach in Ogden, Utah.
Gotcha.
Actually,